What's up, y'all? It's Mike, the professional dependent. Just decided to do this real quick, because it's probably not going to be a fantastic video. I'm in a Scottish pipe and drum band, and part of our uniform are these flashes. Problem is, these are supposedly one size fits all, but they're definitely one size fits some, because that is the biggest they are at full stretch. I mean, they stretch like to that, but they don't even come close to fitting my calf. And Remo, hi buddy, is really not liking me being down in the basement. Let me see if I can show y'all real quick. So there's going to be like a big sock, and you can see I'm really stretching this thing here. And that's as close as it gets. Doesn't quite get there. So, and I'm about to sew. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I have extra elastic. I'm going to swap out the needle. If you scroll back through some of my other videos, you'll see how to thread a needle and all that fun stuff. I've done it before. And we're going to sew about actually what we're going to do. Let me backtrack. We're going to cut off this part of the elastic, the sticky part. We're going to cut that off. We're going to sew on roughly 4 inches of elastic. I think that's what I decided, about 4 inches of elastic, probably closer to 3. And I'm going to sew this onto the extra elastic and sew the other elastic on here. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me enough room to get the flashes on. And I've got to do it like now because we have a gig at 4 o'clock today. I don't really have a lot of time, so I need to stop talking and get to sewing. All right, so the first thing I had to do is swap out a needle. And I had a denim needle on here before. If you'll go back, I think the last thing I did a sewing project on was my Carhartts for work. That's a little better. With my Carhartts for work, and I was using a denim needle and heavy thread. Well, for this, you don't really want to use, come on, Mike, a denim needle because it'll mess up the elastic. So you really want to use a ballpoint, like a jersey style needle. Apparently this thing is Michael proof. There we go. Jeez Louise. So I've got my jersey needle. All right, now I freely admit, this thing does have a automatic threader, but I can never get it to work right. So I don't ever use it. I don't think the bobbin picked up. There we go. Now the bobbin picked up. All right, I can never get the automatic threader to work right. So here's what we're doing. Taking this. We are cutting off the elastic. Taking this elastic. Now this just happens to be some elastic that I have left over from another project. It's different elastic than what's on here. This is no roll elastic because I use it for some pants. However, in a strange stroke of luck, it's the same width. So that's what I'm going with. And I'm going to get real scientific here. I'm going to cut I think that's too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 3 inches of elastic off. A little bit over 3 inches. Because it's not quite perfect. So we're going to cut the elastic. And then I need to make sure that I'm sewing this so when it comes around, the sticky part here will go onto the correct side. So you got to make sure you're doing that part. Like how I sew this part really doesn't matter. What matters is when I sew this on, how it attaches to the elastic. That's what matters. Doing this really doesn't matter. I wonder if I can take this Velcro off. I don't have time to take the Velcro off. We're going to trust our brother ST150 HDH, the strong and tough, to punch through 2 layers of elastic and a piece of Velcro. It's sewed through like 5 layers of Carhartt jeans. I don't think it's going to like even throw a hiccup at this. So we're going to get this sewn on here real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a box stitch on here. They've got just a regular straight stitch going all the way around. I'm going to do a box stitch just because it's going to be a little bit stretchy. And I want to make sure that I don't lose this. Not going super fast. Back stitch. I really do wish the lighting down here was better because it makes it very difficult to see what I'm doing. All right, so we've got that. Something happened weird with my bobbin thread. My bobbin king. I'm not really overly concerned with whatever just happened with my bobbin thread because this isn't like something that's going to be seen. There's enough stitches on here to where I'm not worried about the stitch failing. It's all back stitched and on there nice and tight. Yeah. I am going to run one more stitch right there because apparently I missed it. Gotta keep an eye on my time here. I've never gotten dressed in the full kilt stuff before, so I want to make sure I'm saving myself enough time to do all that correctly. Go back on this side. Line that up. And the reason why it's important to trade needles out is because your ballpoint needle is going to kind of go between the threads, whereas a sharp needle for your regular like cotton is going to punch through and make a hole. You don't really want to make a hole in this. You want to kind of let it work with the threads that are already there. yeah, that's going to be just fine for what I needed to do. Here's the part that I need to make sure I'm doing correctly. So this is going to go on like so. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. I probably could have done about another inch on the Velcro. But I'll fix that on the other one. All right, and now with this one, I'm not going to be able to do the same box cross stitch. I'm just going to have to do a straight stitch all the way around on this one because I don't know if sewing straight through here is going to mess up the sticking ability of it, if that makes sense at all. So, and if I really wanted to be kind of particular, I could probably do I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, I'm going to move the needle over so I'm closer to this edge here. Not quite that close. There we go. Oh, I should be pinning this. If I really want to be like super careful, I could pin this, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to do nice and slow and help it along there. You always want to make sure you leave your needle down when you're turning this stuff. I'll go ahead and trim this excess right here. Don't need to, but I want to. There we go. All right. There we go. Just pulled off the tag, but nothing else came off. All right, here we go. Stretch test. Y'all saw where it was before. So it's on there, and you'll see why I'm going to add. It's on there pretty snug, and that's why I'm going to add about another inch and a half for the other one. But there we go. That's why sewing. A buddy of mine told me years ago sewing is a life skill, and I kind of laughed at him. I am so glad that I've learned how to sew because I've got a gig today and I need to be in uniform. These didn't fit. This is something the band provides. It's not something that I had to buy. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, have a great St. Patty's Day. Even though you probably won't see this till after St. Patty's Day, but have a great day. Cheers, y'all.